Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Leslie Ford Weber of Johns Hopkins and the new chair of the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors.
Thank you, Gigi, and thank you, everyone. Would you please join me in another round of applause for all of our award winners? The last one was visionary, but I think they're all wonderful. Thank you. You know, when I was a teenager, I dreamed of being an award-winning actress. So let's pretend we're at the Academy Awards. I have my little list of people to thank, and I hope you will indulge me with that. First of all, I want to thank Dusty for being an outstanding chair of the Chamber for the past year. It's really been a pleasure to work with you, and I'm glad that we get to keep you for another year in your role as immediate past chair. You know, Dusty has very kindly but very firmly encouraged all of us to sort of set our Montgomery County exceptionalism aside and to look for opportunities to collaborate regionally, and we've been thankful for you for that. And then I'd like to thank all of my fellow board members, the people who stood up earlier tonight and raised their hands and took our new oath, and of course Gigi and the amazing chamber staff. I'm counting on everyone to continue the enthusiasm I've seen working with you in the past few years, and the work that you do to position your companies and the chamber for a great future. I also want to thank my colleagues who are here tonight from both Suburban Hospital and Johns Hopkins. As Dr. Lowe reminded us, healthcare and higher education are businesses, ones that, as we say, no margin, no mission. And yet the mission of caring for the sick and educating the next generation animates our work. Of course, I want to thank my family. My husband, Mike, is here tonight, and our daughter, Katie, who's spending this summer continuing her volunteering with the Bethesda Chevy Chase Rescue Squad and working with the good folks at the Bethesda Chamber. When Mike and I moved to Bethesda in 1996, I worked in DC and later in College Park. One of the things that interested me about working at Suburban Hospital was the opportunity to get more involved professionally in the community where we were making our home. My family's support makes it possible for me to do that and to be here tonight, so thank you. Katie's younger brother is not here tonight because he is interning at E3 in Los Angeles. There's some gamers in the room. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I couldn't believe it either that a teenage boy would rather be at an electronic gaming extravaganza than enjoying dinner with all of us tonight. But there you have it. So like many parents, Mike and I over the years have had several discussions about this video gaming interest and screen time. Somewhere along the way, the kids convinced us that the lessons learned in gaming can be applied to life and to business. So lesson 1, timing is everything. Many of us have read Marshall Goldsmith's book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There, and he has this observation. If you can't identify what matters to you, you won't know when it's being threatened. And in my experience, people only change their ways when what they truly value is threatened. Do you know what matters? Are we at a point in our civic and community life where the things we truly value are threatened? If so, then the time is now to shake off any complacency about your own easy commute, your own good school, your own high-paying job, because the same is not true for everyone in our community. What can you do? Certainly you can vote. You can speak up. You can be a role model, and you can work with the Chamber to advance our collective interest, especially in supporting the creation of more high-paying jobs in Montgomery County. The time to do that is now. Lesson 2 from gaming. Obstacles mean progression. In a video game, obstacles appear continually, and the only way to progress in the game is to either work around them or to overcome them with your superior skills. We have to do the same in our civic and professional lives. Stop expecting the status quo or even a return to the way things were. Instead, learn to adapt and to make positive changes. The Chamber is here to help you shape your market, to advocate for strategic investments, and to improve the economic competitiveness of our region. We will know we have made progress together when a higher net growth of businesses has resulted in more high-paying jobs in Montgomery County. Lesson 3, teamwork is crucial. The first chamber was formed in 1699 in Marseille, France, to provide the merchants, traders, craftsmen, and industrialists a public forum to discuss issues facing them as a business community. 300+ years later, and chambers around the world, including here in Montgomery County, are still convening to share best practices and to make our collective concerns known. No matter what happens in the primary on June 26th, we're going to need to continue to work together to help educate new office holders about the realities of doing business in the 21st century and to be proactive partners in our collective future. As Jane Fairweather observed in her speech to the Bethesda Chamber last week, politicians will be well served to remember that a thriving business community lifts all boats. Companies, and not just individual residents working in Fairfax, DC, or maybe even Frederick, pay the bills for good roads, good schools, bus routes, parks, and clean water. All of you join the Chamber because you realize there are things that you and your business can't accomplish alone. I'm excited about the opportunity in the year ahead to lead this team as we work together to grow our companies, produce great products and services, and provide great jobs in Montgomery County. Lesson 4, connections are valuable. In addition to advocacy, networking is at the heart of what we do in the Chamber. Keep coming to events like this one and the smaller programs we offer. I appreciate how attentive you all really are right now, but I really love it when the room is buzzing with the conversation that shows that business deals are underway and commerce is happening. Draw upon the expertise of both the Chamber staff and your fellow members. Both will help your enterprises thrive and to continue to offer good jobs in Montgomery County. Lesson 5, multitask or perish. In her speech in December to the Gaithersburg Germantown Chamber, my colleague Barbara Cruz spoke of her own deepening involvement in the community through her children's schools and civic organizations, all while balancing home and work. You know, our kids think that they invented multitasking. But Montgomery County business leaders have been doing this for generations. Large companies like Marriott expanded their business lines while their founders raised families and led their faith communities. Small companies like United Solutions watch the horizons for new technologies to teach their clients while their founders embark on lifelong learning and demonstrate that immigrants can get the job done. That one was also for those of you who are here tonight instead of at Hamilton down at the Kennedy Center. Just like in the video games we play, if we don't multitask, we will perish. You can't win the game by pressing pause. And this community won't win in the 21st century by keeping new residents out. We need to continue our welcoming traditions and then multitask our way to addressing congestion, school capacity, housing, and the demand for green space. The Chamber and the business community are eager to participate in solving our community's challenges with the respect that is owed to the people who create jobs in Montgomery County. The very last lesson from gaming is about resilience. If you die in a video game, you have another life. We won't always succeed in our individual and collective endeavors, but that's not a license to give up. Take a rest and then keep going. So 6 months ago, my father died. and then my mother moved in with us, so I've had some time to think about the lessons they taught me. When I was growing up, our economic life was precarious. My parents worked, but they were not well paid. Many of you know me as a proud graduate of the University of Michigan and of Georgetown, and then tonight, courtesy of Dr. Lowe, an honorary Terp. But before that, I was the smart farms kid in our local public high school. Despite our challenges at home, both my parents tapped into their own resilience, not to retreat, but to engage in our community life. They volunteered at the PTA, coached sports teams, served our congregations, and my father was even a volunteer first responder. It's such an honor to work with all of you who do the same. Despite setbacks, you continue to stay in the game to ensure your own businesses and our entire community can grow and prosper. I want to thank you, and I hope we'll all have a great year together creating jobs in Montgomery County. Thank you.